and welcome to Married to Survivor with Joleen and Xchel. Xchel, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you, Xchel?
I'm doing great. Joleen, how are you? Xchel?
I'm doing great. I'm here with my blonde hair looking good.
You look good. Oh, and you lit the tree today.
I always light the tree.
No, last time you didn't, remember?
I did it? It was daylight. You can't light the tree during the day.
You did have a little bit of sunlight. Last time we were live talking about Survivor. Tonight we're talking about Survivor Season 41, Episode 12. If I heard correctly, the finale is next week and it's 3 hours.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Right? It came so quickly.
Can I do it in hour chunks? It seems like a lot.
3 hours is pretty long.
Yeah, those are hour chunks, please.
Oh my gosh. All right, you guys.
Is it throughout the week?
Yeah, it's every day, 10 minutes for how many ever that divides into 3 hours.
So 6 days is 1 hour.
Oh my God, I was watching the Challenge All-Stars and they were doing they had to jump on trampolines and then knock down these puzzle pieces well, they weren't puzzle pieces, they were numbers. And then they had to put them together in a problem that would equal an equation. Okay, anyways. And it was math. And I was thinking, holy shit, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Were they easy equations? Or were they like 2 + 2? Oh.
No, it was like division.
You okay? It's stressing you out already.
It was stressing me out, but yeah. Okay. I was just thinking, God, I would really suck at that. I could jump in the water, I could get the puzzle piece, I could do all that. But then I'd get to the math part and everyone's watching you. That's like when I did that commercial and they watched me. They just told me to write numbers. And they're like, okay, take 2 away from that. And I was like, because everyone was watching me.
Mm-hmm. What's the problem?
I couldn't do it. I got nervous. All right. If you're watching live, you guys, make sure you smash the like. Let's get our like count up. Let's get a like count goal of 100. Let's try to get it this live. And if you want to support the channel, Super Chat's a great way to do it. We'll highlight your comment. Otherwise, you can join us here. We have 1 membership on YouTube and a couple tiers on Patreon. So check that out. And I'm here with my lovely husband, and we're going to talk all about Survivor. Now, who won last week? I don't think either of us did.
No, I don't think either of us did. I said Erica was going home.
Did I say Deshawn?
Yeah.
I think I said Deshawn. So, yeah. Mm-mm.
Nobody gets it. Don't put it on. Don't put it on. It's cheating.
Okay.
You're having too much fun looking like one of those Danish nuns.
Seriously. All right, let's get into this episode because Xchel has a Vikings game to watch tonight, and at the end we'll do a little update of foosball.
Yay.
Foosball update. Okay, so we go back. Let me just share the screen here.
Oh, you're going to share the screen? Okay.
Should I? Do you think?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Is there ball cam?
There wasn't a ball cam. It was such BS.
So dumb. What is this episode even for?
So Truth Kamikaze. We go look at up next. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This is so my profile. Okay. So we go back from Tribal where Liana went. Mm-hmm. And everybody's talking, and they're just like, why did they keep her card? That was dumb pants.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny and Deshawn talk about, Deshawn mostly talks about how hard that was for him, and Danny's like, I didn't want to do that. And Liana's gone, Xchel.
Yeah. Well, this is all set up from the previous episode when they got Shan out, so they're falling like flies.
They are falling like flies. So then we did have a good conversation between Heather and Deshawn. And we did comment last week on the big conversation that Deshawn had and that everyone was having, Liana had, and about, they wanted to have a foursome. They wanted to do it for the culture. And then Heather was like, you guys are oppressed? I've never heard of that before. That's so weird. I'll have to Google. Was that racism? Race plus power equals racism. Okay, I'll look into that.
Well, even the night before, Xander was like, you spoke so eloquently. Like, what am I supposed to speak?
That's a microaggression. But, yeah. I mean, Heather's like, she's, yeah, whatever. I mean, I think Deshaun's just like, you heard me out and you said something really nice. And I appreciate it because some people are like, oh my God, I just want them to play the effing game. We talked about it last week.
Well, Deshaun's cool about it. He's like giving everybody the pass. He's like, yeah, that's how it is. Yeah.
I think he just doesn't want to have to listen to it, her.
Oh, and it's like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
It's like one of those people, it's the worst person on the team, so nobody wants to talk to them because they think that they're going to catch the suck.
Poor Heather. Well, not poor Heather. So she's like, you know what? I want this. She did say, I want this season to be different. I don't know why I'm giving her such a Minnesota accent, but it just feels right.
I don't know why either.
She's like, I just want this season to be good and fair and true and not racist. So I want to see change. I want to see it. I'm going to Google racism when I get home.
Jeff, I would like to self-evict.
I would like to go home and bring Liana back. She didn't say that. So she doesn't want to be that big of an ally. Am I right? But they have a little conversation and, then he's like, look at Deshaun's face. He's like, cool. Yeah, if you could Google that'd be fantastic.
Deshaun's eyes right here are like, help me. I feel like at any time he could turn to the producers and be like, okay, please, that's great.
Can you imagine the amount of times Deshaun, Danny, Liana, Shan have had to coddle white people, especially white women who are just like, I didn't know that happens. And they're like, but then the white women are like, it makes me so sad. They're like, it's okay. It only happens to us, but let me comfort you.
Everyone's like, man, I'm so sorry. You're a person of color. I'm just so sorry. I was like, what?
Just like, oh my gosh. So they have this moment. Poor Deshaun. He's just over it. Molly says, Heather's oblivious. I'm curious if she's ever watched Survivor because she sucks at the game. Tell us how you really feel, Miles.
Molly, you should be the new Jeff.
Yeah, you should be the new Joleen and Xchel. That said it perfectly. Yes, had they kept Shan, they would have dominated,
I agree. Shan would have kept the whole group together. But the only caveat was we have to do what Shan wants.
Yeah, according to Deshaun, it didn't seem like Liana or Danny had an issue with it. Danny's like, I'm running stuff behind the scenes on my own. I'm fine.
Yeah.
It was just Deshaun. Tracy says, Joleen, you sound like Mrs. Doubtfire. Well, thank you. Okay. So this happens. I didn't do screenshots, so I have to do screenshots this way.
We have the reward challenge. Oh, this was great because my favorite part of this reward challenge is like, and then Jeff goes, and you get either cookies or you get chicken and veggies. And then Deshaun's all like, yeah, that kind of sucks. I want letters from my house.
He is complaining. And Jeff's like, look at Jeff's like, he's like that dad. Are you serious? You just say you're hungry all the time. It's like when the kids are here and like, I'm hungry. And then you make them a meal and they eat one bite. They're like, I'm bored. You're like, you just got done telling me you were starving. And now
that's
you're bored.
A niece and nephew too.
It is. That was how Lucy and Frankie were when they were here. It's like, oh my God, I was starving. So we'd make them food. They'd be like, I'm full. They take one bite. I'm thinking, well, Lucy goes, we have little stomachs. I'm like, okay, don't tell me you're starving because you don't know what starving is.
Well, we are giving them like adult portions sometimes. Those little kids, poor little kids.
I know, like finish it all. Like who decided you couldn't leave the table till you finish your plate? That might be the reason for American obesity.
We had a cookout and they had like a large baked potato, broccoli, and a giant like steak on there. Oh, chicken wings. We did chicken wings for them.
Yeah, Lucy likes
so they can only eat so much,
The bone collector. Yeah, they can only eat so much. Jamie B says, if Ricard wins, you guys give us your very blunt hot takes on Survivor. I love this in the chat. Just be as blunt as you want to be. If Ricard wins this season, I'm kicking Jeff in the ball. Well, Jeff was big mad. He's like, I'm giving y'all the, like Xchel said, the candy or the stuff if you're low carb. And then like you said, Deshaun.
I think Deshaun said that.
Letter from home. He wanted to eat his letter from home. He did.
Yeah, I think he said that like low blood sugar. So you're gonna say like things that are more like like how you're really feeling rather than being like, this is great. We're all starving. We're about to play a game.
Is he married? Maybe he did it because if he didn't, he's like, oh, my wife or my husband.
Maybe his wife was gonna sext him in the letter.
You'll get cookies. So, all right. So then, he's like, well, I guess if we can't get letters from home, I guess we'll just whatever. And Jeff's like, we're going to break you up into two teams. We're going to have Danny versus Xander, because every competition, no, I'm just kidding. It's also Ricard, obviously.
Yeah.
And so we have Deshawn and we have Erica and we have Xander against Danny and Heather and who am I forgetting?
Xander?
Danny. No, Ricard. Sorry, Ricard.
Oh, Ricard. Sorry.
And so they compete and they work their hardest. And Jeff's like, gosh darn it, I got these kids all the sugar and the cookies and they're still not happy. And then, they're working real hard. But in the end, yellow wins. So Xander.
Wait, before you get there, I just want to say that yellow won because at a certain point, Danny was like, hey, I can't shoot these balls in the hoops anymore. Ricard, will you come switch with me? And then Heather floated towards the ladder too and then stood next to Ricard.
Heather's game is flawless.
She was like, where is the survivor?
Like, Ricard, are you oppressed too? Do I gotta Google you too?
And so then when Ricard was shooting shots, nobody was out by the hoops to grab the ball because could you find a spot where Heather's standing next to Ricard? And I think at a certain point, Ricard looked at Heather like, what are you doing here?
Skip ahead. Okay, let's see.
You go forward from there. No, it's forward from there.
Well, there
here it is. Here she's coming.
So she's kind of right here. Can you see my mouse?
Yeah, I see it.
So she's right there, and Ricard's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm coming with ya. What do you got to teach me?"
Use the 15-second skip thing up ahead.
There she is. I'm still here. Wait for me, guys. Let's see if we can go back. Okay, wait. What's the 15? Is the Z 15 second? Or no, you're talking about
on here. Yeah.
She's like, "Hey, I'm sleepy." And then there's Deshawn just nailing all the baskets, and there she is next to him. I wish I could get rid of this. How do I get rid of this?
No, you have to keep that. That's part of the overlay for Hulu.
Hulu, give me a break. So there she is, and Ricard's like, "Oh God." And Heather's like, "I could give it a try, but I'd have to Google it. I've never heard of this before. Is that a ball? It goes in a hole."
I feel like whoever's on Heather's team is like, "Oh no." Oh, no. What are we gonna knit something? Oh no! Oh, it's physical challenge. Oh no!
Xchel, that's sexist and ageist. Why is she knitting?
Because she says she likes knitting.
Okay. Yeah, bro, I got it. Did she say she liked knitting?
No, I was just joking.
Oh, okay. Look at she's right there behind her.
And no, this is a perfect one. Look on the far right of the screen. So Ricard had shot the ball. Yep. And then Danny was exhausted. And he was near the thing. I'm pretty sure they're like, Heather, what are you doing? Get in the water.
Yeah.
Now he has to go swim across it. It's like Heather was like, I totally get the plight of black men. I'm so sorry. But I'm exhausted. So you have to do the plight of black men. Go do it.
Oh my gosh. I think I'm understanding this correctly, right? You just want to do it yourself. Is that how it works? So that's little head bomb. And look at Ricard's like, I'm normally good at everything, but not this. So these three win, and they don't pick cookies and treats. They pick chicken, unseasoned chicken, like you guys are saying in the chat, and veggies, because they're like, we need to get our strong for the big day.
Well, if you eat too much carbs, you just you could be all full and feel gross for immunity challenge.
Yeah. And then Heather didn't even want to swim back. She made the guys carry her. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that part.
I need a medic. No, she didn't do that. Okay. So they get their food and they're getting their reward and they're eating their chicken and their veggies. And these three decide maybe we should be a final threesome.
Mm-hmm. And Xander said, this is my type of meal. This is what I eat at home.
We're like,
this fuels my giant nipples.
We're like, we know you have a six pack. Like, quit bragging about that.
I think I would have chose chicken and vegetables.
Yeah, because at that point you might be so malnourished that you're like, I just need something good for my body.
You need the vegetables because they have those minerals. Minerals are really good for your body. And the protein's really awesome. It has some helps with muscle repair. They say if you have like a cut or something in the medical field that you eat lots of protein. And then that'll help heal it faster. Mm-hmm.
I just cry a lot and put Neosporin on it
until
you help me.
Oh, yeah. Or if it happens to me, you just lock yourself in the bedroom and then you say, deal with it yourself. I'm not helping.
I almost faint. You're like, can you help me? I'm like, I can see your bone. I gotta go. And you're like, you can't. It's a paper cut. But there you go. So did you think this threesome had a chance of working out? Were you like, all right, they could ride to the end. This makes sense. Because at this point, Deshaun's like, it's me or Danny next. So I gotta make some
I
moves.
think Xander's too close to Ricard to even nudge. They know that they'll make Final Four if they stick together.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, I can keep Ricard.
Yeah. He's like, I'll rather be with Ricard at the end.
Yeah.
Which is dumb because then Ricard wins.
Molly, for sure. Molly with the hot takes, they could at least have given them condiments for that bland chicken. It doesn't
at least.
I don't think that looks like any. Yeah. I'm not the cook here. Xchel's the chef, but it just looks like it's grilled. That's it.
Well, it looks like it has good char at the end, and that's really good. Mm-hmm. They probably put salt and pepper on it, at least.
I think they let Heather make it, and so it's
Oh. Then if she made it, she probably made it like you and just put it in the microwave, nuked it.
Ew, that grosses me out.
Why is it still rubbery? I guess I gotta nuke it some more. It's all dry.
Why is this happening to me? So Erica, she's just wondering, like, maybe I should. Her and Deshaun have been flirting with this. Shouldn't we work together? Will it work? In this episode, Deshaun also was talking about to Erica, like, you can't take Heather to the end because, like, you guys have the same game.
Mm-hmm. He was planting seeds.
Yeah, and Erica's like, that's what I'm afraid of. They're gonna think we have the same game, and I don't think anyone will think they have the same game because everyone's talking that Erica is super smart and strategic.
Yeah.
And Heather's just like, it's so pretty here. Do you guys want to take a nap? She just says, like, I'm going to go with you. What are you looking for, an idol? So, yeah, it's a little dry. Suzanne, thank you so much. Did you hear about celebrity version of Survivor coming next year? Yes. So, allegedly, there's a celebrity version of Survivor coming.
Allegedly.
Because my wonderful mods sent me the link. I think it's for sure. And
Tom Green's on it for sure. 100%.
Well, what I think it is, and thank you for the super chat. I think it is I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which is a show where they pop celebrities out in like an island, some kind of outdoor space. And they had it in the UK, and I thought they had it here before. And it's pretty popular in other countries. So
just like Survivor?
Yeah, it's like Survivor, but they put like celebrities out there because I believe that Spencer and Heidi Pratt were in a season. I don't know if it was like a UK season or maybe it was an American season. And then Caitlyn Jenner, I think, was in one. But it looks like they're going to have – who was it that they were having? Let me look at my little screenshot I have. It was going to be maybe Jodie Sweetin,
Who's
who was
Jodie
Stephanie
Sweetin?
From Full House.
Oh, okay.
So
didn't she get weird or something?
She didn't get weird. She got on meth, I think, like a long time ago.
That's kind of weird. I would classify that as weird.
Well, I mean, it happens.
If you were like, hey, my brother's on meth, I'd be like, well, that's a little weird.
It's out of the, well, I mean, it's just, she's got addicted to a drug, I guess.
Yeah.
And then she cleaned herself up. She was like married to a cop. But she was a child star. So to me, it's like meth is the least of your worries when you're a child star because that's like something you can at least recover from, for the most part. I'm not saying everybody does, but the other stuff that happens to child stars. So who knows? But
of course, but I just was sorry. I was just saying, didn't she get weird? Was more like she got into trouble and stuff. And
she did. I think she might have was she married? I believe this is all alleged because this is what I remember. I think she married a police officer. She had a couple kids. Her kids are now older, like teenagers. And obviously that marriage didn't work out, but she cleaned herself up and she's killing it now. Like she did when they launched the new Full House seasons ago. And then she had this show on Pop with another like 90s kid, two other 90s, one, I think from, I want to say Highway to Heaven, but that's not the show. Seventh Heaven. And then that one show where they were on the roller coaster. When you're lost out there, when you're all alone.
Family Matters?
No, that's
Step by Step.
I think Step by Step. Yes. I don't know if that was the right song for it.
That was the worst television show ever because it lied. It lied to all of us, especially as kids, because you'd be like, oh my God, there's a roller coaster on a beach. I want to do that. How do I do that? Where do I go for that? And then it's all computer animated. It's so bullshit.
It is. That doesn't exist. That's probably at Six Flags and they put a green screen or something.
I was so upset by it.
They were liars. They were. And then it was like modern day Brady Bunch type stuff. And
Mm.
Suzanne Summers was the mom, and the guy from Dallas or one of those shows was the dad. JR, the guy who played JR. Like, Who Shot JR? That was a big thing back
That
in
was
the
a
day.
Thicke, right? Robin Thicke's dad?
No. No.
Alan Thicke?
No, he was
on
in
Step by
the
Step,
Kirk
right?
Cameron show, Growing Pains.
Dang.
A
Growing
trip
Pains.
down memory road with Joleen and Xchel. So anyways, she's rumored to be on it. Ebony K. Williams from The Real Housewives of New York is rumored to be on it. I think, who else is rumored to be on it?
Joleen Lunzer is rumored to be on it.
Joleen Lunzer. A model, Paulina Poroskova. Obviously, we all know her. Colton Underwood, I think, is a Bachelor guy. Meta World Peace, which please, dear Lord, please. He was great on Big Brother because he had no idea what was going on. And he was like, when you talk, I don't listen to what you say, Ross. I'm just waiting. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to say. And I was like, I've never resonated more with something a celebrity has said in my life. I don't listen to you. I'm just thinking about. And then he thought him voting out Chuck Liddell or whatever his name is, the cage fighter guy, was him saving him. They're like, no, you voted for Chuck to go. He was like, I don't think so. You're like, oh my God, Meta World Peace. Yeah. And Ray Lewis is
the football player who was in a trial over someone getting killed. That football player, Ray Lewis?
It must be, because I don't know. I was gonna say the boxer. I have no idea because there's no picture.
Oh,
well, maybe there's a picture. But
can I just say that I don't like when these shows do the celebrity version of that show, because it's like, to me, it's like celebrities had a chance. Give regular people a chance now, you know?
You usually have to give the money to like charities,
or they could just donate the money to charity on their own.
That's true, but then they wouldn't get. You have to get clout with it when you give.
Got it.
Also,
you have to have
Cody
clout. Got it.
Says it was the American version of I'm a Celebrity back in 2009. I thought that we did that. So I think it's kind of a revival of that. I like when they do the celebrity shows because I love Celebrity Big Brother so much. And then I also used to like the Surreal Life, and so did you. But that
I like the Surreal Life, but that was back in my early 20s. So I've learned a lot from then, and I do not appreciate the Surreal Life now. Remember when Vanilla Ice got so mad at Ron Jeremy, and then he like trashed the whole Surreal House? Because Ron Jeremy had to pick between him and like someone else in order to stay in the house. Yeah.
Vanilla Ice is very fragile. Ever since Suge Knight held him over a balcony by his feet, allegedly, he's been very fragile. He needs some therapy for that. Vanilla, get some help. Joshua said that was the Full House theme, Julian. I had a feeling I was singing the wrong theme song. That was Full House. Everywhere you look. Do 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 shoo ba ba da do 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 do.
I hope Stefan Urkel comes to my party.
It's Stefan Urkel.
Yeah. Oh man, he was so smooth.
Oh my gosh. I heard Jodie Sweetin is supposed to be on its celebrity version of Survivor and Meta. Yes, just in the nick of time. So I'll watch that shit. I will watch that. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. Okay, so these three enjoy their time together. Then we're back to Heather. She's just scheming and plotting, and she says, "Let's go get some water or something."
And then Danny's like, "I'm gonna go look for the idol because it's the only thing I got going for me."
I know, and
then he missed it.
Close.
He was this close.
Danny, no, Danny, look over here. Over here, Danny. I'm over here.
Like you're at the movie theaters and you're watching a horror movie. Turn around. He's right there. Turn around.
I don't see it. It's not on this side.
I think Survivor would be great if they had a time lapse of them looking in a certain area near where they were. So like you could see how long they looked. I think that'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be so cool.
That's why we need live feed cams on the Survivor Island.
No, because then you would see how the producers help.
we wouldn't like that too much.
No.
So then Danny's taking a little too long, and Tiffany and Ricard are like, he definitely found the idol. I think he found the idol. I think he's looking for the idol. And he comes back and they're like, he's too happy. He can't be happy. It's not fair.
I want to see a sad black man. I don't want happy black man.
Heather is you're just like, Heather, you're not being an ally, Heather. You are not.
It was Danny's trick. He'd be like, I'm going to pretend I have the idol. Mm-hmm. For me, it's like, well, then you're just going to draw all the votes if you pretend you have it, right? How does that help you? I was thinking.
I don't know how it could help them with this season because it seems, well, actually, no, it could because they have Xander sitting there with the whole ass idol. They got, that they haven't voted people out. So maybe it could scare them just enough. But what they tend to do is just split the vote. And then if he doesn't use the idol, then they revote. And then.
What was that Survivor where the guy who won the idol, he would just wear it around his neck as like a way to intimidate or like
Russell?
To be like, yeah, it was Russell.
Did? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was a very good ploy because no one had done it that way. But it was very like, it was a boss move. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what little guys do, I think. So they come back and they have their chicken, and then Erica makes sure to say it wasn't good. It was, don't worry, it was barely any. Just straight up bland. Heather, you would like it. No one else here would like it. Just Heather.
There was no spices on it. It was
Xander loved it.
Yeah, Xander loved it.
Xander just has a George Foreman and and steams the broccoli, and he's done. No salt, no pepper, no nothing. They're fine. Okay, it's Joleen food. All right, and then they're just like, oh, whatever. But at this point, Heather's like, I know, Danny. I know you got it there, little guy. I know you got it, okay? So I might have to use my strategy and get rid of you. So there she's talking about, trying to find out.
It'd be funny if there was a confessional with Heather where she turned around, like her back was towards the camera, and then she's like, well, I was thinking about what I would, like, she's so unaware of what's happening.
I know you guys are talking about, it's rough for you out here. It's rough for me too. Hearing Deshaun talk, I was just thinking, I wonder if I'm still gonna be able to use my credits from Michael's that I got on file, or if I've been gone too long, because that's sad. Because I worked really hard to get those. I have at least a $10 voucher.
Can we get back by the 15th? I have Kohl's cash. I have to spend.
I got Kohl's cash. I gotta go here. Okay, I've learned enough. Thank you. And okay. So this is where
one of my favorite looks
is talking to Erica, and this is where they have the talk by the water.
I call this look the creeping foreskin.
This is going to Grandma's house and with creeping foreskin. Wouldn't be Married to Survivor without a penis joke. Okay,
yeah,
so
you gotta have a few.
Of course, they're so fun. Deshaun, this is when he tells Erica, yeah, you like, it'd be best if we kept this threesome a thing because you can't go to the end with Heather because you guys have the same game. And she's like, that's what I was thinking, because Heather is easily rattled in that way, I think, Erica is easily rattled in that way where she's like, oh, she kind of doubts what she's going to do then, which anyone would in that situation. So she's like, maybe it is because I'm afraid. I don't want them to think I'm playing like Heather. And Deshaun's like, exactly. So we should ride this out. Look at, he's doing all the right poses. Like, you know what I mean? I do. It's like authoritative, compassionate.
He's like that. Those videos you have to watch for businesses sometimes where they like reenact all the like stuff.
Oh my God. The corporate videos, they're like, Jan knows John from soccer. Can Jan get John a loan at a better rate? Because they know each other. She's like, hello, Jan. Remember me from the children's soccer game? Like, I do. I would like some extra monies for
Can you use your employee discount to help me, a coworker, out?
And then she goes, and it pauses.
Yeah. What would you do in this situation?
And they're like, A, should Jan give her friend a better rate? B, should Jan push her friend into traffic? Or C, should Jan call corporate compliance and find out if, in fact, that breaks corporate policy, which it does? And I'm like, B, push him in traffic. But it does look like that. They look very staged. So they have this talk, and they're like, all right, well, I guess we're just going to ride this thing out. Well, we got to find out who's going to win immunity, Yeah. And so we have the immunity challenge, and Jeff's like, drop your bags. We're playing for safety and cookies. And then Deshaun's like, oh, but my tummy hurts. No.
What about a letter? I don't want to win immunity. I want a letter.
Deshaun's like, I don't really feel like climbing stuff. Okay, I guess. I thought this was going to be another reward challenge, Jeff. I'm sorry. Another confusing reward that nobody's going to use. Has anyone used their dice thing?
No, that was last week was the last time you could do it.
So nobody ever used it?
No one used it.
Oh my God.
If we have a problem of too much riches, like if you have too much, then nobody uses the single that they have because there's so much. I think that's what happened here. Oh, but I feel like in this situation, like at the beginning, they had to like spin in order to like unravel themselves. Like a hula hoop was wrapped in rope, and then they had to spin. Like I feel like no one has watched TV. Like this is so like a Big Brother challenge where like if you're spinning, the way to spin is you have to pick a place in front of you so that when you turn, you move your head to that body. Yeah, you move your head to that position.
You pick a place to look at so you don't get sick. But I even took dance class and I still can't do it.
I think you could. It's easy. You just pick one spot, and then as your body's turning, you have to look at it. And you go back
Josh
to
was educating us. Sydney did use. Who's Sydney? Now I remember. Okay, she was. She had a animal print bikini. Sydney did use the shot in the dark, but she didn't get the safety and then lost her vote. She was the only one. So at least we had one person use it.
Yeah, but it's like you gave all these people chances, and then just nobody wanted to risk it. They didn't want to risk their vote.
How well would Heather do on Big Brother? Do you remember Kathy?
She would go to the end.
12, who got caught in the caramel. That's how well she would do.
Did she go to the end?
No, she was like a sheriff. She got kind of far, but not. Yeah. She never knew what she was doing. She was like, I can't get out of the caramel. I'm stuck. She was like Southern and a sheriff. I'm stuck in the caramel. And everyone was just like, Brittany, who was the queen of DRs at the time, was like, oh my God, this is so hilarious and ridiculous. Like, I can't get out of the caramel. So she would be like Kathy from that season of Big Brother. Okay. So, whoops, I don't want to hit play because then.
Then
what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Jeff's going to be mad at us. Jeff's going to be big mad.
They're going to like copyright this so fast.
So fast. You know, there's Heather just killing it. I love Heather. She's just killing it.
Heather's the type of person that like is the slowest person in your class, but everyone wants her to feel good. So that every time like she tries, like, yay, Heather.
Go, Heather. Go, Heather.
Go, Heather.
And Ricard's like, do I have to win another one? Because you guys weren't dumb enough to vote me out. And sure enough, Ricard wins another one.
Because you weren't dumb enough to vote him out. Deshaun was close.
Yeah, Deshaun was close, but he's like, damn it. Because he knows. Like, this
but no matter what, even if Deshaun won, I mean, they would have voted Danny out next.
Possibly, but maybe he could flip it on Ricard. You never know what you can do. I mean, you scare people enough, and he had that relationship with Erica, and Erica, I think, was ready to flip.
I don't understand is like, if you know you're probably going home, why don't you go back to camp after the immunity challenge? Wouldn't you just go search for the idol for like as long as possible until you had to leave kind of thing?
Yeah, well, you also have to politic because you have to make sure you're not gone from the group too long.
But if I know I'm leaving, like Danny and Deshaun know, like after this, they're like, man, we gotta. It's either one of us. I'd be like, let's just go look for the idol.
Together.
Yeah, we just gotta find it, man.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be the worst idea at this point because they did know it was between the two of them at this point. But you know, they both said they're going to campaign for themselves. But I think Deshaun obviously was willing to do a little more. Where Danny's like, "We'll let the cards fall where they might." You know, there's still a chance. But Deshaun was, you know, I was afraid he was going to start throwing Danny under the bus. But Danny has this moment where he tells Deshaun, "Yeah, since one of us is going home for sure, I should tell you, I used to play for the Cowboys, NBD." And Deshaun's like, "You did? That's so cool."
If I was Deshaun, I'd be like, "Oh, that's why you're so good at all the challenges."
I thought for sure when we got to Tribal, when Deshaun wanted to talk, I thought he was going to out Danny. And I'm like, don't do that. He's like,
he should have. That's so funny, Joleen. Oh my God. Because he was like, I'm going to out all the secrets except for my boy.
Right? Well, I thought for sure it was something about Dane. I'm like, don't do it. I thought he was going to Jerry Blank from Stranger with Candy. I've been making so many Stranger with Candy references and stand up and go, I've got something to say. And then if you keep Danny, you're keeping an ex-NFL player. Not only did he play for the Cowboys, but he played one season for the Bears. So that means he's good because I don't know anything about foosball. So I was really afraid he was going to do that. And at this point,
what was if we're going to like if we're talking about tribal, I just want to say, what was the point of Deshaun like saying all the truths about everybody? Like, was it like, I guess since I'll be a target, I'll move on next kind of thing? Because that's all I saw it as, is when he was at the end, he was like, I'm going to reveal the biggest secrets, everybody's secrets, just Erica's, like all that does is just like make people mad at you. So, I just don't understand that.
Explained it like, if I'm going out, I do kind of believe that because Deshaun has that personality. That's how he was with Shan. It was, it was like, oh yeah, you're not gonna blow me up. I'm gonna blow me up. You don't tell me what to do. I tell me what to do. You don't send me home. I send me home. Where Danny's like, just see what happens.
Yeah, that's so true.
And Deshaun's like, you don't send me home. I send me home.
Which is like, what's so funny about that? Your nephew does that. Your little nephew does that. Yeah. One time you were FaceTiming and you had to go, so you hung up, and then he called you back. He's like, you don't hang up on me. I hang up on you. I
was like, oh, Frank, he's so petty. Such a Lunzer trait. I love it. But I feel like in a ways that's Deshaun. You know, he's just like, no, and he wanted to blow stuff up. Now, it could have been also a last-ditch effort to maybe possibly save himself and Danny and put the target on Erica.
I think it just puts the target on you, though, because you're not to be trusted if you move on at all.
Maybe that was just a little taste. Like, let me drop this nugget, and then after that, I'll drop some stuff on. Or no, maybe I'll just drop it all on Erica.
Yeah.
And then see Xander, you can't trust her. And Heather, obviously, you can't trust her. So we should probably just get her out because I'm a target already. And Danny, he's so nice, which I know you guys think is a threat, but it's not.
Yeah, don't concentrate on his physical prowess either. But he's a good guy.
Prowess?
Yeah, prowess. 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 Prowess.
Someone in the chat will be smart and correct us. But
I just, I was really mad at this point. I feel like if Deshaun and Danny knew they were going home, they should have just got everybody together and be like, look, Xander has an idol. You don't want him. I know you're going to vote one of us out home, but let's all agree to vote Xander the first time. So we get flush his idol. So it's like, no one's willing to make that move. And I think what we have here is a case of the niceys, which is where this group is just so like, yeah, we're great. We're nice to each other. This is awesome. Nobody hates each other, right? We need a Russell here. They were like, I hate that motherfucker. But he was doing stuff, so it made it really interesting to watch. Now, Xander's moving ahead after this vote with an idol. So it's like, it's so dumb because then if he wins immunity, then he has safe from that one and an idol. It's like he's going to move ahead so fast, and these people don't want to do anything.
We still have Deshaun in the game. Unfortunately, Danny leaves. I was very sad. I did not want Danny to go at all.
I didn't either.
Deshaun now is a pot stir, so it's not going to be as easy for Ricard to just slide in because Deshaun now, that tribal was entertaining. It might have been confusing at some points where like, what are you doing, Deshaun? But that was entertaining. And if we would have got rid of Deshaun, I feel like it might have been a little more of a snooze fest because right now we have Ricard and Deshaun, two very interesting personalities who will stir shit up. And that's good. And it leaves us not with the obvious. So at this point, we saw previews for next week's episode and it looks like, Deshaun will try to stir up a little bit. And so,
and Erica even says, I hate Deshaun. She says that.
Molly, I agree. They could have done more to stay. They really could have.
Yeah.
I hated that they were like, it's just down to us. It's like, no, go play on Heather's, like, go Heather. You know how you said you were going to Google oppression? It's not good. I hate to like weaponize that. And this is 50% jokes, but seriously, do what you got to do to stay in this damn game. Like, hello,
I will get you autographed Cowboys gear when I leave.
I will alleviate your white guilt. And there you go. And she's like, I don't really feel that guilty, maybe, I don't know. But I would have done a little more. But I do think maybe that was a last ditch effort on Deshaun's part to just be like, listen, I'm going to be in this game in a target anyways. So I'm going to blow up Erica's spot, even though technically Erica was really considering going to the end with him. But I'm going to blow up her spot because I know something that I think could hurt her, just so maybe we can flip the vote on her and maybe me and Danny could both stay. Maybe it's just a long shot, maybe Joleen.
Maybe.
Okay. But
oh man,
that was the best comment ever.
I like this screenshot that you pulled up, because to me, in my mind, Heather looks like she's like, yep, I knew it. They're all coming after me because I'm the best one here.
Yeah, she's like,
they want it, and I know they know I'm gonna win.
I'm a secret genius. I haven't told anybody yet. That's what they always do in Big Brother. They always have some secret. And remember the year we went, and well, we went a couple
when
times.
I won you a t-shirt, or when you won me a t-shirt?
I don't remember which time, but it was the one when you won me, because it was when
the first time you won. Yeah.
was evicted.
Yeah.
And she was like, before she left, she's like, I have a big secret. And everyone's like, what? She's like, I'm a secret nerd. I'm a secret genius. And everyone's like, but you're going home. So you're not that.
We beat a genius, guys. It was so easy. They're so awkward. Their social game sucks.
Well, unfortunately, Danny bids us adieu. We get a tie. Mm-hmm. And then I'm thinking, oh shit, Deshawn's going for sure after this little thing.
I thought Deshawn was going to go too, yeah.
Erica and them kept him in the game. What do you think the reasoning for that was?
He's just physically, he's so good. They feel like I can't beat him. Yeah.
Yeah. It has to be that, and it has to be that. I think they did say early on, he is so likable and he's such a nice guy and has a good story. So I think they're worried about that. Look at Liana.
Liana's like, that's so side-eyed.
That's what a lot of us were thinking.
Oh my god!
Like, what? Like you know, it was brought up. Like Ricard stayed in this game, and look what happened. He won again.
Shan's looking magical. She looks really good in this shot. I like her style. It's very nice.
Yeah, she always looks magical. She's always a glowing queen. So yeah. I thought Deshawn. Nope. They go back. They revote, and Deshawn's like, what? I'm staying? Sure enough, it is Danny. Danny's leaving. And I'm like, no, Danny, I'll miss you so much. I really.
You know what the shitty part about the finale, even though it's 3 hours long? I guarantee you there will be an hour of commercials.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Because it'll be like, wait, we have a challenge, and it'll be like commercial, and they'll be like, okay, backstory, and they're like commercial, and then they'll actually do the challenge, but right before someone wins, commercial. It's gonna be the worst.
Seriously, that's how CBS and MTV are. They always do that kind of stuff.
MTV is really bad. Like I was watching the Teen Mom stuff with you, and then it was like, I was like, who's that? And then you're like, oh, that's Janelle, and I was like, commercial. You know, it's like it's like a half-hour show fit in an hour. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And they're like, that her baby's father's mother's about to kick her ass. But first, we're going to take 7 minutes of commercial. I'm like, I just want to get to the baby's mother's ass part. But, okay.
That's why I miss TiVo. I miss TiVo because on TiVo, you could record a show and then you could skip the commercials. No, because the cable companies have all taken them and kind of done their own TiVo, or it's been on Hulu and it's done its own TiVo. And so with on demand, you're forced to watch the commercials. You can't skip ahead.
Usually I watch this on the computer and I watch it, so I can skip commercials and stuff. I stream it, but I had to watch it on demand on the actual television, and I couldn't skip any of the commercials.
And the worst part about it, it's like you're paying for a service, so it's all like, you're paying to watch commercials, where it's if you're paying, like, you should not watch commercials. Like, that's what I don't get about cable television sometimes. It's like, exactly. I'm basically paying for the service. Why do I have to watch a commercial? So
great point.
It's lame.
I think Deshawn is less of a jury threat, Joshua says, than Danny, especially with what he did at Tribal Erica. Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure. They're thinking, even if we bring Deshawn to the end, we can beat him because nobody likes him at this point.
No one's going to vote for him. I think it's between Xander and Ricard. Ricard has to go, or else he's just going to win. That's just how it is.
Yeah. It was interesting, though, that Danny and Deshawn both voted for each other. That's such a good point. If they were trying to convince people to vote for Erica, so maybe they didn't have a very good plan. I think that was something that Deshawn just threw out, thinking, I'm going to try this. And it didn't work because he does act on emotion and such, where Danny doesn't. But I would have thought they would have at least put a couple votes on someone else, but maybe they were just like Erica, but maybe they were just thinking, okay, once this, they're gone, then that's going to fall back on me. But I mean, you're going to be a target anyways. So
yeah.
Molly says, I hope we see a preview for next season. Atharella says TiVo still exists. And
we need one of them.
That's why I watch from DVR. I hate watching commercials when it's
They're
something
so dumb.
Exactly. If you know a baby's mother's grandmother, the baby's mother's grandmother is going to beat up the baby's mother. You have to, you got to be
so
ready.
Great grandma.
The grandma.
Baby's mother's grandmother is the great grandma. It's going to beat up the grandma.
The mother-in-law is going to beat up there or something like that. The baby's mother.
Sounds like great TV to put on MTV. I'll watch it.
Others. It's been all the grandmothers are like beating up the baby or trying to beat up the baby's mothers. It's crazy. These grandmas
we're growing up with some hard grandmas. Yeah, we're growing up with some hard grandmas.
Grandmas are just like, bring it, little girl. They're just ready. But Jeff drops the bomb at the end and says, okay, you guys are in final 6. But first, right? They're final 6. We have Deshawn, Xander, Erica,
Ricard,
Heather, Ricard. Final 5.
5.
Right? 5. Okay. So
5.
you guys are final 5. Guess what's happening? We're sending you to a new island where you have to start over again.
Oh, people are hungry.
We're going to have 2 tribals, and you're going to have a tie-breaking fire making challenge and something else. And Deshawn put his buff over his face, and he was like, oh, I tried to leave. I wanted to go to Ponderosa. I hear they got
He went full foreskin. He went full foreskin.
You're like, hey. So
you're funny, Jolie.
Oh, Xchel, you're a sweetie. Wipe the seedy. So they all have to, this. Jeff's like, you want an experience like no other? Here you go. You're starting over at final 5.
Jeff's getting real sassy. He's like, ever since Deshawn asked for the letter, he's like, oh, all right, well, we're going to pack all the Survivor in one day. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's like, and everyone's getting cut by Jeff. We're blood sisters and brothers. Like, Jeff wanted to do some weird Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants stuff. He is getting sassy. I kind of like it.
He's so getting sassy. Oh my God.
So sassy. So we'll see in the finale. I can't believe we're already done with this season. It is insane to me. That we are.
It's been nice though. I think that they could have done 2 episodes instead of 1. I'm not in for the 3 hour. If you say 3 hours to me, that sounds like so much time. I feel like
all the commercials. You're right. It's gonna be an hour and a half commercials an hour. Yeah. Because they just want to make the money, the ad revenue off it. But they have to end also before Christmas.
Yep, that's true.
Season's this late. So there you go.
There you go.
Sad to see Danny leave, but I like Danny.
Oh, I like Danny too. He's real chill. Oh yeah, for sure. If they have like a bring back people, he'll be back. Shan will be back for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ricard's probably going to win this if they don't.
He makes it past the night. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And they're dumb for not flushing idols. That's what I don't like about this season.
They flush some idols. A Danny idol.
That's so dumb. Flush some idols, please.
Has had this idol for so long, and now we're gonna see Erica, like you said, say, "I hate Deshawn." And it's like, well, why did you keep him? Well, because obviously, like Joshua said, it makes perfect sense. For the jury, they were they're more fearful of Danny. Danny just is better.
Somebody flush some idols, please.
Flush these idols. Even though Deshawn's like, didn't he say in this episode, like, I'm really working on the social game is very important.
Okay, who's your final 3 out of the 5?
I think my final 3, we're probably going to see a Heather, Xander, Ricard, because I think
that's who I think
are going to hold this, and Xander's going to kind of be a dummy about it and let Ricard manipulate him, and they're going to go, come on, Heather, and she's going to go, I was made for this. Like she was made for third place.
I did it. I want to see Erica, Xander, and Heather. I think Erica and Xander would be good because of their final pleas to the jury. That would be more exciting. But if Ricard's in the final 3, it's basically Ricard's to take.
I would love to see Erica win at this point. However, when Erica was talking about voting out Liana, and she's like, I know there hasn't been a woman winner in a while, and I know I'm part of kicking out the women, but I still want a woman to win, but I want it to be me. And I think that's the difference between the women and the men when they play is, again, the men play more of a team sport where the women are more like, well, I better get that woman out because there can only be one. It's like, what if you went to the end with all women? And this hasn't always been the case on Survivor because we had the Black Widow Alliance and stuff like that, and they stuck together as women. But it seems like a lot of times on these shows, the women are just like, well, I want a woman to win, but I can't have more than one woman here to do it. And it's like,
I'm sorry,
the
Joleen.
more women you keep, the better chance you have of women winning.
Sorry, Joleen. If polyamory doesn't work, multiple women winning doesn't work either. So
that made no sense. Molly says, when Danny was voted off, Tiffany said, damn, I wanted him in the finals. Danny had a good chance at winning if he made it. Yes, I'd vote for Danny.
Totally did. Yeah.
Right now. So yeah, but I still would like ideally I would like to see a final of I mean Ricard's played so well, so I kind of want him to win.
You want him? Yeah,
well, I want him to be challenged for sure. Like I don't want
No one challenges him though. I know. Nobody. Xander thinks he does, but he's like Xander's like the little brother that tagged along. Ricard's the power mover.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Ricard could get the idol from Xander. Like I feel like he's that good of a player in this instance. So, like if you trust me, just give it to me.
It would, yeah, that's true. It would make it very interesting if Deshawn would find an idol or Erica.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it need to be Deshawn because I mean I guess they could flip on Erica. I don't think they'd flip on Erica at this point. Well, maybe they would actually. Actually, Erica might be in big trouble because she might have a better chance in front of the jury. So,
I will say that if Heather doesn't go, I see Deshawn being in the final 3, just because he's so not liked in the jury that people would take him along. Whereas someone would be like, Heather might pull a vote,
Or they might think, well, Danny's going to jury and he's going to Ponderosa and he's going to talk up Deshawn. That's how they think in Big Brother. So there's a lot of time to put salt in other people's games. But at this point, they should all be wanting Ricard out. But like we said, they don't because Xander doesn't. I don't know how Heather feels half the time. And now Erica's pissed at Deshawn, so we'll see. But she didn't vote him out at this tribal, so maybe keep him around.
We'll see.
We will see. Fishback said he predicts Xander Deshawn due to their edit. Ooh.
Oh, that's some tea.
That's some tea. Thank you, Molly. Survivor 41 will have Heather as the winner. Heather will be. What'd you do to win, Heather? I just listened to everybody.
Everyone cheered me on. It was great.
She gets the end to win. She gets the end to wins. Joshua.
That'd be funny if that was like, all right, and here's the trophy for the winner. Way to go, Ricard. And then here's some straw that we put together for Heather. Heather, you can play with it if you want. Here you go.
I have to Google this. I've never heard of it. Which is a prank. Okay. Joshua said it'd be interesting to have Xander, Erica, and Ricard final 3. One person from each of the original tribes. That would be very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be cool.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, Heather has played the best game. We talk crap, but like literally so good. So good. Impeccable.
Maybe she's that player that's playing aloof,
Yeah.
That's how you say sometimes you got to play the dummy.
Play the dummy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got to play the dummy. That's what my grandpa told me. He goes, you play the dummy. People can't be that mad because they're like, oh, they're just dumb. They're not mean. They're not manipulative. They're just dumb. Oh my God. Is that at the bottom of the cart? Holy shit. I didn't even see it down there. Oh, I'm just so flustered, That's what he would do when he would try to sneak in the Minnesota State Fair. He'd be like, I walk in backwards so they can't tell if I'm coming or going.
He sounds cute.
He was so cute. I wish you could have met him. He would have loved you. Yes. Legacy. Yes. Definitely should have taken Ricard out last week.
Yeah, you had your chance.
Richard. I like how you
gave him the game. Way to go, Richard.
Such a Richard. Don't be such a, that's what we should say instead of you're being a dick. You're such a
That
Richard.
Would be the best final episode. Yes, Ricard. Jeff, I know when you started the game, you started calling me Ricard, but my real name is Richard. So I just going to throw that out.
I also really have decided that I like when you say, "Let's go, come on out, guys." I like that. It's not offensive. Thank you.
It goes back to what the
It goes
original.
back to the original. I'm excited to go back.
I had time to think about it. I like what you did before.
I love it. I didn't want to be too soft. Okay. Snowflakes. What?
I have $1 million. I don't give a fuck no more.
Yeah. You're a guy. We're all guys.
When I'm rich, I don't care.
He's like, I'm fucking with you. Oh my gosh. Yes. Deshaun has had the most confessionals, so that could be setting up this winner's edit,
Ooh.
And if they can't get Richard, get Xander. He has an item, an extra vote. Exactly. He has been in this game so long and not
Flush him out. Flush him out.
And that'll be such a thing at Tribal. Like, I played my game so good. People trusted me so much that I had 2 advantages and they still didn't want me out. And I won stuff. It was a physical threat.
Yeah.
So, like, hello. Let them think. So you have to what is it again? I always forget. I have to look at the thing. You have to outwit, outlast, outwit, outplay, outlast. So let's see what all of them, let's do a case for all of them. We'll wrap it up that way. Okay. So with the outwit, outplay, outlast, let's start with Heather.
I have to use the restroom. Can you do it by the first one by yourself? And then I can come back and finish this?
Sure. Put it on mute so we can't hear you because there's a bathroom right behind that tree, you guys.
Okay.
And
but I'll bring the camera with me so you can see what I'm doing. But it's on mute.
When I used to stream from the office, sometimes Joel would come in and he would like be in the kitchen or living room, come in that, and then he would go pee, and then I have to mute because I could hear him peeing because it kind of echoes. So
okay,
we want to hear.
I'll be right back.
What we're saying is we want to hear you pee. Okay,
I want to go.
All right, you guys. So let's break this down. So we have outwit, outplay, and outlast. Well, Heather, definitely an argument for she would outlast everyone. Okay, she did that. Outwit, I don't know what her argument would be other than if she came in with something like I came in with the target as an older woman. I was playing the dummy. Outplay. What big moves can she say she was a part of? And did she lead any votes? Was she on the right side of all the votes? I don't think she could use any of those arguments. She didn't really have to win to save herself. She definitely tried. There was E for effort. So it could be kind of like the E for effort thing. But again, she's at the end. I will see what Xchel says about that, but I don't really see a case for Heather. Now, in the past, let's say like the season that, like Russell's first season where he thought he should win and that girl won instead. That woman, what was her name? She was like a pharmaceutical sales. She actually had a case to win at that point, but I guess it would be who she was up against. She doesn't have anyone who's as unlikable as someone like a Russell was, who did 0 jury management, where she could win. There's no one left in the game, I think, that it would be a situation like that. I was comparing it to the Russell situation when he didn't win and the blonde pharmaceutical saleswoman won. I forgot her name, but she had the case in that, she actually did try to make some moves. And she was sitting next to someone who was so unlikable and did 0 jury management and broke all the promises. And she didn't, but he thought he just cared. Natalie White. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate that. I apologize. I should definitely know her name as a winner. So I can't think of a way that, what do you think Heather's claim would be? Because outlast, obviously, I'm still here, guys. Outwit, she could just do I was playing dumb.
Oh, she could be like, I am actually a professional Iron Woman. And I basically led you to believe that I am not good at competitions, even though I hold the world record for running, swimming, and jumping. That could be outwit.
She could lie. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I pretended to be so bad.
What about outplay? Like, was she never led any? She tried to at that one tribal lead people.
Outplay. Yeah. When Deshaun told me about his what he's going through as a person of color, I thought about how love to play Parcheesi. Outplay. I'm good at Parcheesi.
I thought about how sometimes I feel oppressed when I'm at Trader Joe's and I run out of
mochi. And I'm like, there's not enough mochi.
Or what are the JoJo's? They only got the don't have the kind of JoJo's I like, and I get real sad. Okay, so Heather, I don't really think there stands a case. Okay, let's talk about Deshaun. Deshaun outwitting. I mean, if he lasts that long,
he could say he outwitted Shan.
Yeah, and he was able. He saw that was going to be a problem down the line, and he knew
outplayed
that
Liana.
he had to get, even though he didn't want to, he had to survive with,
the
with
dead man's chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then so outplay, obviously, he's played the damn game.
Yeah, he's tried to play, but I think it's like what you said. He's just too emotional. But I guess he would just be like, I've always been trying to make decisions, always trying to make things move.
He's trying to move pieces. Mm-hmm. He's getting people on his side. He's trying to make alliances and just staying alive after what he thought. He's also coming in with the weight of carrying this alliance he wanted to for the culture, and also balancing his own game. And if he's able to get to the end, it's like he was able to do that with a huge target on his back. Let's see, Xander.
Xander, he's held on to the idols, right? So that'll be advantages. Like, especially if he hasn't used it, he could be like, I've always had them kind of thing.
Young, in shape, good at comps, and they let him hold on to his advantages.
He can say outplay, or he can say outwit is that, he knew that Evie had it for him, but that he was able to outlast her because she was one of the first people to go home. So like he was able to manipulate his way into new alliances in order to continue down the road.
Yeah. His problem is he just wasn't on the right side of the vote a lot of times.
Yes.
So I think that, toward the end here, obviously he did, but he really wasn't. So I think people like Leon and Shan are going to be less likely to vote for him. Mm-hmm. But he definitely has a case at jury. Ricard, I knew that I made a relationship with someone. He's got all of this stuff that he did with these advantages with Shan, and they survived being a part of this tribe that was kind of struggling. And he was very transparent. So good jury management, saying, I didn't make a final 2 I wasn't willing to keep. And so I was honest and said, I respect you and your game so much that there's going to come a time we have to come at each other. And I took the shot when I knew I needed to take the shot because there was this foursome. And arguably, I'm the reason that foursome didn't survive, is because I took the shot once. I heard they were coming for me, and then Shan told me, because I had such a good relationship with her. Instead of fighting with Shan against them, I was like, I got to take her out and just break all of that up and expose it, and then try to work with them temporarily. It's like, holy shit, you were really strategically thinking about this stuff. Also, obviously, Comp Beast. Always playing, always listening, reading lips. He's going to be the first hearing impaired, winner of Survivor if he wins.
I just think if you haven't got rid of him, he's just going to win.
He has all the reasons. I want to vote for him right now.
We don't need to watch the final episode. We know who wins.
He's amazing. He's amazing. There's been times he's pissed me off because you get attached to certain players, but he's doing the damn thing. So good for you, Ricard. And then we have Erica. What do you think Erica's outwit and outplay?
I
feel like she was a huge target going into when she was left alone on the island. She had to make that big choice of whether she wanted to restart the week. I did it knowing I'd have a huge target on my back, but I twisted it. Like, I made that choice and I came back in, had to pivot, and I still wasn't the target. I was the target of my tribe from day one.
But I don't think she was ever going to be a target for that choice, just because it was like, everyone was like, well, if I had the chance, I'd probably do the same thing. Like, I'm on Outcast Island, and
she was the target. And then she has this thing that can really screw up people in Power's game, and it did. And then all of a sudden, she wasn't the target anymore. She was able to kind of infiltrate and get in a group, and she pulled Heather in, and she was really trying to just find, where the hell do I fit in this game? And she did. And that's the beauty of Survivor, is being out there. And when you're alone, literally, they're sending her off at these important moments when they're merging, and she has to make these decisions that can really piss people off. And then she comes back and she feels like she has not an ally in the game, and she has to position herself in a way where she can survive another day. So she literally is surviving day to day based on the relationships and deals, knowing that she didn't have the the big alliance that everyone wanted. She really had to navigate and pivot. I think she has a good case, and she's just really smart. Everyone already thinks she's very strategic, and it's like, you didn't get me out by now, but I was always thinking, always trying to move pieces. I wanted Sydney out, and guess what? It didn't happen right away, but it happened because she was coming for me.
But that's her. I think that's what her flaw is that she's always tried to make moves, but no one's ever trusted her enough to work with her. I mean, the only person that really is her ally is Heather in essence. And, it's like she's always had these great ideas of like, oh, yeah, I'll be here to get rid of Ricard. And, oh, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. But it's just, I really feel like it's never come into fruition what she's wanted to do, because I feel like she's been an outcast from wherever the core group has been.
Yeah, but she's aligned herself, with the right people, and people that had it out for her. Shan, Liana, they left before Erica left. And Erica didn't have to.
That's outlast. Yeah.
Yeah, Erica really didn't have to lie. Her jury management isn't bad, because she did. Obviously, she had to lie, and she. But I don't know. I think Erica does have a good case for winning, and I think she's done a lot more for her to even think her and Heather have the same game is just silly.
Yeah.
Deshawn saw her as a threat early on.
Everybody did. Everyone thought Erica was like,
but she's still there.
Yeah. Though that's outlast. I just don't think she outwit, because she wants to do these things, but no one really listens to her.
But do you want to be the person that maybe it sinks in and certain things happen, but you don't want to be remembered as the person that did that? You want to have to remind them at the end, because then you stay longer. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just don't think that. I would love to see how she pitches it, but let's say Ricard's gone. I just don't. I would love to see how she pitches it, because I think communication is key in terms of like your finale, and so I would love to see how she pitches it. But I feel like her and Xander are on the same plane, where they've had like these chances to do things, and they think that they're the people who do them, but it's always been by chance of like whether they've gotten advantages or not. Erica receiving the flip one, and Xander receiving the extra vote and the idol. But I don't think any of them really has had any type of control over the game, such as like Ricard or like a Shan. And I think that that's what hurts them. So I think that they're kind of tied in what they do when they pitch to the jury for their votes. I hope Erica wins, because I'm rooting for her. But I just think that she's tied with Xander. What do you think?
Well, I think she is better strategically than Xander. I think just even with the moves that Ricard made, but with the help of her and Heather, I think those are things that she put out into the universe as well. But he was able to come in and be a little more like, we're gonna do this, with like the Shan stuff. So I think she was always planting seeds. That's always what Erica was doing. Her conversation. Sometimes it was transparent to people, and sometimes it wasn't. And even when it was transparent, that stuff still sits in your head. And all of a sudden you're like, well, yeah, maybe we should. So I do think socially she's worked a lot harder than Xander has. And she also has, a couple or a win under her belt as well. And just being a target and really having to play down her strategic mind, like what she said from day one, even though Deshawn was like, she's really good. She's like, I think I'm playing it down well. Well, Ashley says, just kidding about Heather winning, by the way. But I will continue with her as my pick until the end of 41. Yes, I know you're totally serious about Heather. She's the best player we've ever had. Joshua says, I think she would have been voted off had Lulu lost before the merge, and she did a good job coming back from playing that turn back time event. Yes.
Anybody would have played that.
A key part, yes, of getting Nasir, getting rid of Nasir and voting Shan. Those are two big things for her to claim. Thank you, Busy Blues number 2 fan. And they both had idols. So that was really good to get rid of Nasir and Shan when they both were idols. So Erica definitely has a case. Deshawn has a case. Xander has a case. Ricard, and anyone next to Ricard. If they beat him, he would have had to have done something so horrific we didn't see on camera. He would have had to like Harvey Weinstein people. Like they had a guy like a couple seasons ago who looked like Harvey Weinstein and did creepy stuff.
Ricard, like he's like jerking off in front of everybody. He's like,
oh my God, don't taint Ricard like that for us. But no, seriously, that was like weirdo Dan.
He's Louis.
Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Like,
good morning, everybody.
Yeah, that was the whole like joke. Or whatever. They're like, at least he asked if he could. I'm like, what? Okay.
No bueno.
No, I don't. You shouldn't want to ask people who are strangers if you can touch your wiener in front of them. Thank you. I said taint. I did say taint. Taint. It's going to taint us all. So there you go. I think Heather would have a really hard time.
I don't see good things for her.
Yeah, but she is the best player. So there you go. Sorry, when Xchel starts the silly jokes, don't hold back. When me and Xchel get silly together, it's our most fun time. We have had whole characters we make up based on potty humor. So
yeah, that's true.
When we met, we would just lay in bed and make up these like ridiculous sketch comedies and record them on my phone. And they were so silly. And then we ended up making an album.
Yeah,
years later. We did. We made Hot Off the Hot Dish, which if you have a copy of that or if you downloaded it at one time,
way to go.
you and like 6 people in Thailand have it.
And Jolene's extended family.
And everyone I know in Minnesota when we had our album release party for our improvised sketch comedy album. Yes, it was so fun. We should do that again. That was really fun. We made it in my parents' basement. It was fun.
We had good comics that we invited to help us. That was the best part.
Oh,
it was like empowering for them, you know?
Yes. Oh, that was amazing.
So it made it fun for all of us because everyone was excited to be there and nobody thought they were better than it. They were just excited to create. And that's what I like working with those type of people.
Yeah, I don't like people that are like, what is this? Who's going to be there? How much industry? You're like, 0. Eileen, Nana's going to be there. And Nana, you guys, for the show.
Oh, yeah, Nana did her first show.
But she also made a little concession because we rented out a black box theater and she made a little concession stand outside and she sold our album, right? Is that what she had like signs and then they sold salsa and ranch with chips. She put it together. And so she sold like water.
That was a good one.
We didn't have an alcohol like license. So
it was at a high school. We rented it from a high school.
Yeah, their little black box theater they had. And we sold it out. And then Nana and my auntie and producer Linda, I believe. Was it producer Linda? I think so. And they all helped. And they did concessions and Nana made signs. And then Nana did her first sketch. And she wouldn't leave the stage.
To see you next Tuesday sketch. Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah, she loved that. Hi, Diana Lee. Caught the end of Mad Rose D. Told her I was back and forth with you. They praised you big time. I love Maddie and Janet. They're fantastic. If you haven't bought their vegan air fryer cookbook, buy it. Mine's at Nana's because Nana has an air fryer. So when I went back there, I was like, Nana, we have to make some recipes in your air fryer. Nana has 2 air fryers. Okay. Shan says, see, this is what I mean, Joleen. You are the cool chick who has done it all. Shan, you make me feel so good. You make me feel so good. Am I playing this? I'm not. Have you been doing that job? Playing this?
I did one week, and what it was is like, hey, now you can have a sneak peek to the next week's episode. Like they gave you a clue of like, would you do this or that? It was interesting.
I've been playing the Starbucks.
I don't like that game. That's expensive.
It's like Starbucks for life, and then you get to shake a snow globe.
You're talking about the game, the Starbucks game itself. Yep.
They have one, and so far I got 2 pieces for the the 15,000 bonus points or something.
I have no idea what that means.
We have a star balance that's like we have a big star balance. We have to buy something with this.
You use it for free drinks.
I haven't used it. I have 426.
Yeah, you use it for free drinks. You got to do it when you order.
I spent so much money there when the fam was here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been playing Starbucks for life. Want to win free coffee? Oh, let's play now and see if I have an extra little thingy.
All right, Chi-Chi. If you're going to play, then I'm going to go.
All right. That's the show, guys. I know Xchel's got to watch his his Vikings?
Yeah, I
Are the Vikings
know.
going to win? Are they going to win?
We've
Chell?
been here for an hour and 15 minutes. I can't do no more.
No, you're so right. You're so right. But are the Vikings going to win tonight, Chell?
We'll see.
I recorded it. We'll see. Send good vibes to Chell. Ash says, I think I found Joleen and Matt and Jess Carter from Maddie and Janet. Yes, they're the best.
That's good.
There's certain people in this community who I just want to like kiss on the lips. They're so sweet. They're such sweets. And there's certain other ones I want to go like this too. But they're very few and far between. For the most part, everyone is delightful. Well, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to smash that like, leave a comment after it posts. It helps so much. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for your love and joining us. And thank you, Chell. I love you, sir. And
I love you too.
I'm going to come over by you. And if you want to light the fireplace, I'm going to
I'll let you
lay
do
by
that.
the
No,
fireplace.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah. All right. Chell will be in the office watching the Vikings, and I'll be in the living room by the fireplace playing my game on my phone, design game.
All right. Bye.
Sexy. Okay. Bye, everyone. Chell turned office. Oh my God. I didn't even wait till the outro. This is marriage. Bye.
If you like what you see.